Hey everybody, you know what day it is. Wednesday, new comic book day, and you're here with me, Alex Garcia, aka the COG, coming at you from comicbookclique.com to talk about the new comics of the week, as we do every week. Thank you as always for being here with us, guys. We have ourselves a bit of a light week, back-to-back light weeks, but a great week nonetheless, and a lot of extra stuff we can talk about too, about things that maybe I could have picked up or maybe will pick up in the future, and definitely recommendations for stuff for you to pick up that I already own. So let's check it out. Let's start in DC, probably the hottest publisher right now. It's crazy how DC is just dominating in the sales charts right now. But it's when they're putting out quality like this, you can't blame them. Let's start with the Batman Arc M's Absolute Batman Arc M Special, #1 by Scott Snyder, Frank Thierry, and Joshua Hickson on the art. Guys, I almost didn't really have high expectations for this issue. It felt like a filler, like, oh, you want some extra information on the Absolute Universe? Here you go. But that's not what Scott Snyder and Frank Thierry, one of my favorite writers from, he's written so much great stuff back in the day, did some X-Men, did some Wolverine, and seeing him here doing some of this Absolute Batman stuff with Scott Snyder, this issue, absolute home run. This goes into the backstory of Arkham Asylum. There was an Arkham Asylum in the Absolute Universe, and it leads into and ties into Arc M. The story, the background story of this Arkham Asylum is like an A24 horror story. It was so bleak and bloody and just depressing and macabre. I'm not a horror fan, but this story was great, and I say it was better than the issue that introduced the Absolute Joker. I was enthralled with this issue. I didn't want to put it down. The story took turns I wasn't expecting, and I want more. I want more of this background. We get one issue, and it's such a bleak story, and it just rips your heart from your chest. And also we get more introductions of more absolute versions of certain villains. Not gonna spoil who, but pay attention to the ending. This was a great issue. Don't go into the shop thinking like I did initially that this was just gonna be some filler issue to just give you little extra sprinkles to this Absolute Universe. This is a key issue in this Absolute Universe. Make sure you pick it up, especially if you're reading Batman. You're gonna have a blast with it, guys. Don't miss this. Check it out. And staying in the Absolute Universe, we got Absolute Superman #15 by Jason Aaron, and welcoming a guy that Jason Aaron just finished his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles run on, that I collected here and highly recommend. Pick it up in trades if you can't get the issues. But we got Juan Ferreira jumping on the art, and as sad as I am to see Rafa Sandoval go, Juan Ferreira's art on this issue is fantastic, and I can't wait to see where this run is gonna go. Drawing the Ninja Turtles is so different than now drawing the Superman. I can see that Juan is still working with the style, and I can only imagine that once he really sinks his teeth into and gets more into this world, every issue is just gonna get better and better. And this issue was great. You see the ramifications of the Battle of Smallville. Cal is adjusting to life on the farm. He's just trying to live a simple life, while at the same time he's trying to work on Ra's al Ghul and make him feel guilty and rehabilitate him, and Ra's ain't having it. Those interactions are so much fun. Cal is popular with the ladies, but he's not realizing it. That's fun to see. And now we get stuff from that Absolute Evil one-shot bleeding into this. We get characters from that book showing up. So cool what's happening in this. Absolute Superman just gets better and better. The way he handles, I believe, the Toy Man in this issue. The Toy Man shows up briefly. Jason, and now with Juan back on the team, the Absolute Superman, great stuff. And like I said at the beginning of the video, shocker that DC is dominating in the sales when they're producing quality like this. Check it out. Let's jump over to Marvel, where we got Amazing Spider-Man #19, Joe Kelly and Pepe Larraz on this. And this is one of those space issues, right? We're in space now. dealing with what, you know, Peter had in the last issue, realized in the last time we seen Pete, 2 issues ago, said, hey, I'm now ready to head back to Earth. I'm ready to confront Hell's Gate. Let's get it going. So they're on this adventure to find a way back to Earth with, you know, this makeshift Guardians of the Galaxy team led by Rocket Raccoon. Pete ends up finding a way to get stronger, but at what cost? At what cost? And that's an interesting dilemma that Pete's gonna have to face. However, before he can even make that decision, Hell's Gate shows back up. And the last time they fought, it was drawn by the legendary John Romita Jr. But with it drawn by Pepe Larraz this time, with round 2 drawn by Pepe, woo, this fight was just awesome to watch. The fight was just dynamic. It was amazing, spectacular even. The way I felt the blows, I felt the speed, I felt the seriousness of the fight. And what I love is I feel like Joe would like blatantly pay, because I mean, he did a little homage to Guardians of the Galaxy Part 1 and how they dealt with Ronan and how they deal with Hell's Gate here, and they know it's a temporary fix because the key here is they want to get Pete back to Earth. And in the meantime, Pete has this option that he can come up with, that he can possibly use to defeat Hell's Gate, but at what cost? That's going to be very interesting. I'm happy, hopefully by next issue, by the next time we're on this, Pete will be back on Earth. But in the meantime, we're going to get, it seems like, another issue of, you know, Norman and company on Earth and what they're dealing with the Hobgoblin situation. See where it goes. Joe, like I say every month though, you show just how much you love Peter Parker, and that's something I enjoy. But I am looking forward to all of this kind of coming back together and seeing Pete back on Earth and where it goes. So if you're a Spider-Man fan like me, don't miss it. And if you're not, check it out just for the art. Pepe, you're fantastic on the art. And let's check out the Ultimate Universe, which is slowly boiling down. We only got a couple more months of it. So let's check out Ultimate Wolverine, number 13 by Chris Condon. And we got, I forget his first name, Domenico Carbone, which is funny, right? Alessandro Capuccio did Moon Knight, and then this guy Carbone came in to do Moon Knight, and they're doing the same thing over here with Ultimate Wolverine. Pretty interesting. But guys, for those of you who maybe jumped ship or felt like Ultimate Wolverine was kind of stagnant, kind of more of the same, these last couple issues have been great. Really, really good. In this issue, we see Wolverine is trying to help the Ultimate Jean Grey because she needs medicine. She's not doing well. You know, she basically was living on this life support machines at the Weapon X facility. So now that she doesn't, he has to get her medicine. And in him trying to get medicine, he's got to confront a whole lot of crazy Ultimate figures. It's reminiscent again to what he went through in a previous Ultimate Wolverine issue where he was fighting the bear, which was a homage to the original Weapon X book by Barry Windsor Smith. So this was very, very cool to see, and we're seeing what Wolverine is going to have to do in this world to survive and get things done. If you've seen the previews already, you kind of know where this is going. So I'm interested to see where this is all happening. Chris Condon, you're doing a great job with this. We went through that lull, but the last 3 or 4 issues have just ramped things back up, especially ever since you hit that reset button on the team, which I did not see coming, so that was great. I can't wait to see how this all ties in, and I really hope that these characters in the end matter with what's happening at Endgame. So please make it matter. And let's jump over to Ultimate X-Men by Peach Momoko and Peach Momoko. I say it quite often, Peach, you've written and drawn every issue of this series. 23 issues, and you will do 24. My applause. The only creator who's done that on these Ultimate books. So, my applause. Guys, this is an interesting issue. Peach in this issue decides to take us through all the missing histories or bullet points of all the characters, the main characters of this book, all those little details that maybe we didn't get in previous issues. So we see how all these little interactions or occurrences now matter now that this book is winding down. So this was kind of like just a wind down issue to show us all the important events of these characters' lives and where it's all taking us, with the next issue being the final issue. I'm really looking forward to it. Ultimate X-Men has been, to me, like the unsung hero of the Ultimate lines. Everyone talks about Spider-Man and Ultimates. Not a lot of people talking about Ultimate X-Men, which is why I feel like they ended up making Ultimate Wolverine to kind of give people those characters. But please, 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 talking about going back and getting some trades. If you've missed out on these Ultimate X-Men books, at least pick up the trades. Go back. You will be rewarded. The stories here are so great and so deep, and the art is so consistent. Thank you, Peach. Can't wait to see what happens in the last issue. And last but not least, we're going to jump over to 616 X-Men by Jed MacKay and new artist Tony Daniel on this book. This is the beginning of the Shadows of Tomorrow, the Age of Revelation epilogue. Age of Revelation has ended. However, we have to wind down and find out, because, you know, the whole reason it starts is Cyclops' mind was taken over by his future self from 10 years in the future. What happens to his past self gets sent to the future 10 years in the future, I'm sorry. And now the future self is in the body of his younger body. He immediately tries to assassinate Revelation. That's like the big plan, right? They had a twofold plan: deal with it in the future or deal with it in the past. He immediately tries to deal with it. It's interesting. It's cool to see, you know, it's always great to see Cyclops getting these badass moments. Check out that Avengers Doomsday trailer if you want to see Cyclops have more badass moments. And I'm pretty sure in Avengers Doomsday, we're going to see him have more of those moments. But in this, that was really cool to see. It's just like, okay, where is this all going now? Which part of me is excited because I don't know. But at the same time, it just feels like, are we spinning our wheels? We're sitting here in the mud. You know, the Krakoan era was so progressive and lifted our mutants so high that now that the fact that it seems like they're just stuck in this cycle again, it's a little disappointing. I really hope where it's going is going to be better than this issue. This is more like, this is an epilogue to the Age of Revelation. I hope we get regular Cyclops back sooner than later. And I like Revelation. This whole Doug Ramsey, I like that he won this Heir to Apocalypse, so I'm hoping his story still continues to be told, and I really want to see these X-Men do something revolutionary. So Jed, just like you're revolutionizing the Moon Knight book, I want to see you start doing that on this book. You were doing it for a while, and then you got sucked into the Age of Revelation thing, so I'm not sure where to go with this. And hopefully next week's Uncanny X-Men issue kind of gets me reinvigorated for the X-Men as well. So, see where it goes. And that's what I picked up for this week, guys. But this week was light in general, but there was a lot of other good stuff to pick up. If you haven't picked up that assorted crisis events trade by Dennis Camp, I highly recommend you pick up that on this light week if you can. DC and Marvel put out a beautiful facsimile copy of the first time Superman and Spider-Man crossed over. It's a giant treasury edition, lots of different covers, a foil cover, a blank cover, classic cover. Still tempted, I might go back. I just don't know where on my shelves I put it, and that's the only thing that stopped me from picking it up. Lots of other trades to pick up, Swan Songs. If you haven't picked this up, I highly recommend that. Or like I said, go if you're someone that missed out on the Ultimate books, pick up some Ultimate trades. Those are all on the shelves as well. Lots of good stuff to pick up at the shop on a light week like this. So make the most of it, guys, because you're not always gonna get these light weeks. So guys, that's what I picked up for this week. It was a fun week. Definitely don't miss that Absolute Arkham special. Such a good book. Guys, thank you as always. Make sure you're following us on our YouTube, on our Facebook, on our Instagram, on our X. We talk about the latest and greatest things to come to comics. We're always coming at you. Make sure you're checking out comicbookclique.com. If you want more in-depth reviews for everything I've talked about here, you're gonna definitely find those beautifully written reviews on the website. And also make sure you're checking out Jon Escudero and company over at Dirt Sheet Radio, our brother, sister station, so to speak. They're doing great things covering all things wrestling. And we got you covered here, guys. So thank you as always for taking this time with me. And as always, keep print alive, read more comics. Thank you, guys. Until next time.